So at this point, is this mine? Is this yours? Is this ours?
Dun,
Um,
dun, 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 dun.
so Fr oh God, the glare. So Frieren, Volume 2. So this just came out like 2 weeks ago, maybe three. I had a friend pick it up for me, well, what because she saw it at the store, and so I have a copy. And I read it, and then I was like, oh, I need to have Nick Nack read this volume right fucking now. Um,
So it replaced something on the schedule that we will not tell you what it is yet. It'll be back eventually.
yeah. Something got shifted by like 3 months to make this work. So Frieren, Volume 12.
This arc was everything. Like you remember, I ended the last episode of, or the last set of books on Fair. I'm like, I'm really looking forward to the next arc because of that end plot twist. This is everything I wanted.
So this is a back in time story.
Yep.
We've time traveled, and we're actually getting Frieren journeying with the Himmel and the others. So we were you remember we were in Japantown recently, right?
Hmm.
Remember I picked up that figure of Frieren in the wedding dress and then giggled and looked at you and put it down?
Oh yeah, now it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That is a version of Fern that only exists while Himmel is tripping balls.
Yeah. But it exists.
Coincidentally, that was our cliffhanger.
Yeah. Yeah. Our cliffhanger was Himmel out of his goddamn mind, picturing himself getting married to Freren.
Do you think that's the elven equivalent of a nice summer fling?
Probably. Is this some Arwen and Aragorn bullshit? My God. Also, the fact that that Freren is now being actively targeted by multiple high-level demons. This is I'm so curious to see how this is going to progress because like everything in me is just screaming butterfly effect, right? Everything in my soul is screaming butterfly effect, right?
But this is also not that kind of series story wise. Like this, I think this will be very important for Farron's character. And I'm
Yeah.
already seeing like huge things I'm liking here. Like it's being used to really portray how different Farron actually is now from before.
Oh yeah, like how much she's changed. But also, like there's just part of me that's really wondering how like what's gonna happen when and if she gets back to the present, right? Because there's no way that this doesn't change something.
I'm
There's no way.
prediction here.
Because Knickknack, I'm gonna be fully honest. If they pull off some bullshit and make it so that like this changes nothing, or be like, oh no, this is just like a separate time bubble that disappears after she returns or something, or or like it's all just a product of her imagination, I'm gonna be actively unhappy with this story.
I
Like,
don't think it's a time bubble, and I don't think it's all in her imagination.
yeah.
Because in the last volume, Farron did say that she went and investigated this with Himmel and the others, and that her memory kind of is fuzzy as to what happened in that time period. Just that she was back there, and they didn't talk about what happened after that. So
It's
I think they're and they return back to that spot by the end of the volume we're at. Like that's where that the fight with the demons happens again.
yeah.
So I think we will end it with it's not. I don't know if it's going to have any major effects. I don't think it's butterfly affecting, but I think it's more like Harry Potter time turner logic, where it's already happened. She just didn't know the details of what happened, but she's supposed to be careful. I don't know. Obviously, that brings the time turner problems with
I
time
would
travel
not
into it.
want that. I don't want that. I want there to be some sort of tangible change.
But I do think that this arc is probably more focused on developing Farron as a character than it is moving like any overarching narrative forward because this series has not been very doesn't hasn't it hasn't had a strong like story focus on the overarching narrative. Like arguably the most we've gotten is characterization of the Demon King.
Look,
The
I'm not arguing that. I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing that this is entirely an arc about Frieren. I'm just saying I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off if this becomes largely irrelevant as anything other than just a character piece once she returns to the present. I need something like that because that'll piss me off story wise because then it's just an irrelevant plot point used to illustrate her character in a way that probably could have been done a different way that didn't involve time travel. I need there to be a change to justify the use of time travel. It doesn't have to be like the entire world is ending because someone time travel. It doesn't have to be like that, but I do need there to be something that is different. It can't just be, let me showcase Freren's new personality by putting her back with Himmel and everyone temporarily.
I mean, you want my like I don't think it's going to be that simple. But I do think most of our changes here story-wise are going to be how it affects Freren because I do think that this is the ending is going to affect Freren of the ending of this arc will affect Freren
Yeah,
because this is
I'm not denying that. Knick knack, I'm not denying that this is going to be all about Freren as a character. I'm just saying that there needs to be some background shit going on that changes in the world. Like something needs to happen, you know? Like she needs to run into like a demon who escaped her during this upcoming fight, or something, who like now knows a bunch of advanced magic or something because of this, and has just been waiting to confront her again for like 100 years. I mean something like that.
I can see that happening.
Like that's what I need. I just need something outside, of Frieren. That would be fun though. Like one of the demons escaping and then like waiting 100 years to confront her, silently biding its time, learning new magic.
I personally think that by the end of this arc, if any arc has a chance of making me cry while reading Freren, it's going to be the ending of this one.
Oh, bro, just shit. The fucking just Himmel realizing he's not actually marrying Frieren is gonna put me bawling.
Yeah.
Like he's literally his best men are literally giving him a pep talk. She's waiting for him at the altar.
I'm I think where I'm concerned emotionally for myself is Freren when Himmel first died, and this is already a sad scene, was not able to process how Himmel's death affected her because she's like, I don't feel like I really knew him that well.
Yeah.
We are now post that development Freren where she in theory is a lot better at reading people and interacting with them. And now she gets to basically permanently part with Himmel a second time with the ability, like with a much better grasp on those emotions.
And her parting with him comes with the absolute certainty that Himmel is dead and nothing will matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing that happens in this little sojourn to the past is going to change how she treated him for the rest of his life, and the fact that she never visited, and the fact that she really only came in time for him to be dead.
What if we get a Himmel confession to Freren in this chapter that Himmel never gets to bring up to Freren again, and Freren now has to go back to the future knowing that nothing's ever going to come from that?
The way that that is like the emotional toll that I demand from like 90% of the fan fiction I read these days. I need you to understand, Nick Nack. This is the emotional stakes that I'm reading in fan fiction these days. Like I read fan fiction to break me emotionally. And if this breaks me like a fan fiction, wow, 10 out of 10. I've never had a manga break me before like a fan fiction has. But you're gonna have to wait a while.
Yeah, this volume just came out. It's going to be a hot minute, and this one on hiatus around this time, didn't it?
Yeah. I think, as a matter of
They might still be on
fact.
hiatus.
As of right now, there are 14 volumes out of the manga.
Oh, thank God.
However, that does not mean that there are 14 translated.
No, but 13, that means that 13 will come eventually.
Let's see.
We aren't going to have this wind up of, oh, the hiatus is done, but we've translated everything. Therefore, we've released published all the volumes. So therefore, we have another 2 years of content we need to release before we have enough for another volume to release.
True, true. Um, yeah, that's regrettable. It will be months before the next volume comes out, and there is no given date for volume 14.
Long as I can get 13. I just hope this doesn't go as long as the mocked arcs that it ends in volume 13. I know it's not. I know volume it's we're probably getting an entire volume of fights with 13 and then 14's where it'll end because the world hates me. But
Uh-huh.
especially knowing that the series went on hiatus after volume 14, that means if the author timed it, that could be the end of the arc.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Why did this have to be so good?
I think you are going to be very upset.
Or another, I'm gonna be really fucking upset.
I think you're going to be really upset.
There's no winning. It's good, and I cry because this is has the potential to be one of the saddest arcs in the entire series. This is bad, and I cry from the missed potential, or this doesn't continue, and I cry because I'm left with blue balls.
Uh-huh. Yeah, totally. Aren't we all super happy that we're watching Knick Knack break here?
I can't win. I can't win.
Anyways, Frieren
Um,
Volume 12 is fantastic.
yeah.
And I love seeing the shenanigans of like Himmel and Heider and everyone, because like it's one thing for like Frieren to like reminisce and throw back, but it's like it's fun to see their shenanigans, because like they do get into shenanigans. It's funky. It was also so fucking, oh my God, that moment when they're fighting and Frieren just automatically, flawlessly backs Himmel up with her magic.
And he's like, she's not done that before.
He's like, oh my God.
You know what strikes me? The characters at the start of this, like when she first goes back in time, were not on the best. Like they were like, come the fuck on, Farron. With how like with some of her responses there. And they weren't happy with her. And we've never really seen that from their perspectives.
Well, yeah.
So
And it
I
makes
have to wonder if this was
sense.
a like if I am right about this being more of a time turner type time travel situation where it already happened. Um could it be that this is the major turning point in their relationship with Freren that they start to that's why they're so kind to her like as you get closer to the ending that we start off the series on?
It could be.
That's
It
it. I don't know
could
that I'm
be.
for sure sold on that theory because Himmel clearly already has a
Alternatively,
thing for Freren.
yeah, I was gonna say, because this is not new and developing. Himmel's thing
Yeah.
for Freren's pretty strong.
I do
Um,
love that they have that entire conversation about how much Freren has changed, and then she immediately gets lodged in the mouth of a mimic.
I mean, look, it is the way. It is the option. Yeah. I don't got anything more.
I haven't either. I feel bad for it being this being like one of the shortest Seki reacts we recorded recently.
So you feel bad for this being one of the shortest Seki reacts we've recorded recently, do you?
Hmm?
So you feel bad for this being one of the shortest Seki reacts we've recorded?
Yeah, because it's like arguably one of the best like volumes we've recorded. But then again, it's like only the one volume, and that might be why.
So I should put this in the Seki Reacts playlist.
Oh, you're right, you're right. Off the shelves, off the shelves. Yeah, it's one of the shortest off the shelves we've recorded.
No, but to be fair, we knew that would happen with a series where we're only doing one volume at a time and it's an ongoing series, right? Because, at this point, it's just kind of reacting as it comes, you know?
And I do need these from time to time. Otherwise, it takes me like 2 to 3 weeks wind up to finish some of these.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, sometimes we're reading like five novels.
I think that just illustrates we need to, it's fine for these to be shorter, but we need to have these out like as they're coming out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I, this time for once, don't remember what's next because I don't remember if there's something funky in there.
I also don't remember what's next.
I know what I'm reading next, but I don't know if that's exactly what's going up next.
Probably not, knowing how much we've switched around recently. Um, so I suppose with that being said, I do actually get to say, I don't know what we're reading next. You don't know what we're reading next, but our viewers will see what we're reading next.
Yeah, for once.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.